Anku, you're good to start, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's on. Recording is on. Over to you, Deepak.
Welcome everyone to our 47th session on Transform ERP Process with Agents in Dynamics 365. So agenda for today is first I'll quickly walk you through about our group introduction and we'll talk about a bit of today's session, and we'll also announce our upcoming sessions which are planned later this month. And before we begin, I would like to highlight a few important disclaimers. The views expressed during the sessions are solely those of the speakers and do not represent the views of their employers or Microsoft or other OEMs. For demonstration purpose, we will be using console demo data and lab environments. Please do note that any recommendations shared during the session should not be applied directly to your production environment. They should be first tested to lower environments like development, sandbox, or any other non-production setups. Lastly, all of our sessions are being recorded on Microsoft Teams. If you do not consent to being part of this recording, now would be the good time to disconnect and you can view those sessions which are recorded and published on our YouTube channel. This is a bit about our group. We started this group about 3.5 years ago, roughly, with a simple but a powerful goal, like to share knowledge, connect like-minded individuals, and grow together with this dynamic setup around Dynamics. Over the years, we build a space where professionals can learn, collaborate, and inspire each other through regular sessions, discussions, and shared experience. This group is managed by 4 volunteers, Rachit, Umesh, Satya, and myself. I would like to let you know, like if you want to keep up with our upcoming sessions and community updates, make sure you follow us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter by scanning these QR codes, or find us via hashtag D365UZ India. We would also like to invite any of you who are passionate about the new sessions or want to share any feedback. Please feel free to reach out any of us. We would love to learn from you. Uh, this is a quick snippet of our YouTube channel where we are publishing all our past sessions recording. So you can anytime go there, review them, reference them to learn new or update your skills. Today's session will be delivered by Mr. Ankur Srivastava. He is senior R&D solution architect in Microsoft India, based out in Hyderabad. These are a few of our upcoming sessions. These are not just two. We have a lot of more sessions planned in coming weeks and months. We'll be publishing them in our different social channels. So please make sure you are part of those channels. On 11th September, there will be another AI session about expense agents. And on 18th September, we'll be delivering a session about time and expenses on agents. I will hand over to Ankur from here. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ankur, and everyone. Over to you, Ankur.
Okay. First thing, thanks to this group who has invited me for this session, and I'm excited to share like the learnings from this perspective to the whole team. And I think from the introduction perspective, where Deepak has already talked about it, that I'm based out in India, and I'm working as a senior full fast track architect, which is basically responsible for, like, we work with the customers, and there are different engagements we work, and also we are part of the PG group. So that is what the feedback we always take from the customers, and always we encourage our partner team to to learn and make comfortable with the new technologies which we are bringing in this area. So from that perspective, let me share my screen and let's talk about the supplier communication agent, which I'm going to talk today. Let me know once you can see my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible now.
Okay. Okay. So we are going to talk about like supplier communication agent. Let me walk through the agenda. This is the agenda for our session today, where we are going to talk about supplier communication agent. We will try to understand what this agent is, and like we will try to see that exactly what are the problems we are focusing to solve with this agent, and then we will talk about how it will how like what is the structure as of today with respect to FNO, and then what the structure we are anticipating when this is like when somebody onboarded on supplier communication agent. Then we will try to understand what is the technical architecture here. Then also we will try to understand the setup and installation. And in the last, I will be sharing the resources, and we will have some the time when the time permits, we will talk about the Q&A as well. So let's, just give me a second. I'm getting all these messages, these requests. So just give me a second. Okay.
Yeah, these messages and requests we are taking care of. You can focus on the
Sure.
delivery. Thank you. I know it is disturbing. I know it is disturbing.
Yeah. So let's look at the typical day in the life of a procurement personnel. So the purchaser spend a large part of their day manually managing supplier communications and navigating across multiple products. And the delays are common due to the inability to respond in a timely fashion. And also manual error can happen that can lead to incorrect order updates. So when issue arises, it is difficult to quickly find alternatives or communicate effectively with the stakeholders, which will lead to the lost revenue and customer dissatisfaction. Now, so what does the future looks like when the supplier when the supplier communication agent is onboarded? Sorry, yeah. So the supplier communication agent automatically reads and extract keys information from supplier emails, such as order confirmations or changes to purchase order, saving valuable time and improving responsive and accuracy. It can also help draft emails to follow up with supplier who have not confirmed the purchase order or delayed the purchase order delivery. Now, this agent reduces the risk of human error by streamlining order updates and tracking changes accurately. It empowers procurement teams to be more proactive, efficient, and resilient. Now, we are talking about, let's talk about as in process of purchase order. So the purchase order is created in D365 FNO, and then purchase order is sent to respective vendors. Procurement personnel spend time following up with the vendor for confirmation. And when a response is received, whether it's a confirmation or a change request to purchase order, it must be manually reviewed and the PO updated, PO is updated accordingly. Now, the procurement personnel also spend time following up with the supplier on delayed purchase order. As you can see, the problem statement, there are too many manual intervention. Manual follow-up and updates happen in the purchase order cycle. So what does the supplier communication agent do? How does it address the problem statement? So the supplier communication agent enhances the procurement productivity and cost efficiency by automating routine and also these repetitive tasks such as supplier communications, follow-ups, and purchase order updates, enabling purchasing team to shift focus from manual operation to higher value strategic work. So how does this 2B of purchase order function with supplier communication agent? Let's try to understand from this particular diagram. So after the purchase order is sent to the supplier, the agent can create a draft of the email for unconfirmed PO that the procurement personnel can review and then send to the supplier. When the procurement personnel receive confirmation from PO or receive a request for change, the agent can read the email and summarize the changes to the procurement personnel to accept or reject the responses from the supplier, which can then update the purchase order. The agent can create a draft email and follow up on delayed purchase order. Let's start. So I hope that I mean from the theoretical perspective, we talked about that exactly what the picture looks like as of today and what the picture is going to be. Like when the supplier communication agent is onboarded in the system. Now, let's try to understand the technical architecture here, like how that is going to happen. So mostly we are going to talk about two agentic flows, which will be working behind the scenes, which we will see in the setup part. Okay, now the first is inbound agent and the outbound agent. Now, so let's talk about the inbound agent, that exactly how things are going to happen. So you can see in this inbound communication, like there are 4 categories we have defined, where first category is called email provider, Dataverse server side sync. The third one is Microsoft Copilot Studio and supplier communication agent. And the fourth one is Dynamics 365 SCM. So the first flow in the inbound communication agent, its purpose is to read incoming emails. To achieve this, what we have done, we have leveraged the Dataverse server-side synchronization. It's a proven capability available from several years. So this allows email to be synchronized from Microsoft or third-party email providers into Dataverse. So once it is synchronized, the agent leverages a Power Automate flow and a Copilot agent. I mean, we will talk about everything like what the terms we are using here in the setup part, but something once the email is received by this Dataverse, sorry. I mean, yeah. So so once synchronized, the agent it leverages the Power Automate flow and a Copilot Studio agent. So the flow extract email content and attachment. So as of today, extraction is supported only for PDF files and the email body text. Support for Word, Excel, and other format is planned, but that is not available as of today. Extracted data is first loaded into staging tables. You can see the staging table here. So once it is loaded into the staging table in Dataverse, then replicated to FNO. From there, a mapping and matching process identifies. So so the relevant purchase orders referenced in this email, the changes or update to be reviewed and applied by the users. Once mapping and matching are complete, the email is considered fully processed. That is how this like inbound scenario works, where we receive the email. Now, the second part, which we always talk about, is the outbound communication agent. So the second flow is the outbound communication agent, which handles follow-up email generation. Compared to the inbound process, this is simpler. The agent queries Dynamics like FNO to identify orders meeting the user's configured criteria. So we will see that exactly what are the criteria we are going to define. Based on that, that query will be performed and it will return the data back. That okay, like this sales order, we need we need to follow up, something like that. So for each eligible order, the agent generates a follow-up email by combining a prompt-based natural language description and a structured execution for order details. There are safeguards which are in place to prevent duplicate emails when no changes have been made. Once generated, the email are saved into FNO with an optional capability for automatic sending. So that is a manual process as of today. Now let's talk about the setup and installation process. So first, let's try to understand the prerequisite for enabling a supplier communication agent. You must be running Microsoft Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management version 10.044 or later with all available quality updates. Dataverse environment is associated with FNO. There is no need to set up dual write setting. And first, let's assure that the Copilot is enabled against the environment. I mean, I have captured the screenshot when I was thinking that those screenshot will help you in terms of like the points which I'm right now talking about it. Now, check if email has been enabled for Copilot message capacity, and if that is not the case in your environment, then on the same page, go to manage billing plans and create billing plans. You must be running the following packages in the Power Platform Admin Center. Now, these are two Copilot for Finance and Operation apps, Copilot in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management. The following features must be turned on in a feature management. And we are talking about these features like immersive home, agent management, and supplier communication agent. Send follow-up emails to vendors with supplier communication agent. Let's go to the next slide. Here, I'm sure the screen is visible. So the first point which we always talk about it, that we have to go to the Power Platform Admin Center. Here you can see that we have to go the features, like you have to go to your respective environment. And right now this environment, you can see that the reference environment is Ankur Unified Admin. And here in the settings, you have to go to the features and you have to enable the Copilot if it is not enabled. The second part is that we talked about it, that you should buy the billing plans, which so as of today, we are not going to talk about how the billing works, but I can take few questions on that part, like if anyone has the doubt on that part. But that is how you can go and associate the billing with respect to your PPAC or your ID. The second part here, we have to go to the feature management and we have to enable the immersive home. Then also we talked about the other agents like agent management, send follow-up emails to vendors for supplier communication agent and the supplier communication agent. So all these are production ready preview. You can see that has been marked, and that is something you need to enable. So once you will enable, and once you will go to your FNO page, what it will do once you will it will try to make the page the default page, the immersive home as your default page. And once you will come here, you can see that these agents are there for you to try it out. Okay, now we will talk about these things once we will go to update, but we haven't updated. Only the thing is we ask these features to get enabled on your immersive home. Now the fourth slide, which you can fourth screenshot which you are seeing here, that we have to go to this respective environment and then we have to go to the apps, and these three apps for sure, like we need to update. We need to update and install and update actually. We need to get the latest here, like the Copilot for Finance and Operation apps, Copilot for Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance, Copilot in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management. Now, once we complete that particular step, now the next step is that we need to create the agent identity user in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Admin Center. Okay, now we have created user, which I'm naming as SA Identity Agent. And once we create it, so in my scenario, I have assigned, these are the respective licenses which we can talk about it, which basically we need to give, we can give it to give this particular identity user. And these are Dynamics 365 Supply Chain Management, Microsoft Copilot Studio Viral Trial, and Power Automate Premium. Now, add agent identity users to this particular environment in the PPAC center. Then after that, we need to assign security roles. And then also we need to set up the agent identity user in FNO. Let's see like how it looks like. So what we did here, we came here and we created this, like you can see that Microsoft 365 admin center. I have created this SA identity admin. Okay. Now for me, I have assigned these licenses. I mean, don't think that I have a lot of licenses, but I have given the licenses to this SA identity agent. Here, what you can do, you can either give supply chain management, or you can give this like separately. You can create Microsoft Power Automate free, or and this Copilot Studio viral trial. So this is what also you can go for. The second part is basically you need to go to your environment again. You need to click on users, and you need to assign the security roles to this particular users which you have associated with this environment. Now, once you will do that part, you have to enable environment maker. You have to enable finance and operation basic user and supplier communication agent, and then save this particular information. Now, you have to go to your FNO. So whatever steps we have talked about it, those were in PPAC. Now we are coming back to FNO. And we have to import this particular SA identity agent in your FNO. So I have done this part here. Now the second part says that, okay, we have to associate the roles, and in the roles, basically, we have to assign this preview supplier communication agent role to this particular SA identity agent. Hope this is clear that exactly what we are like the first slide, which we says that, okay, what we are doing. And this is what I tried to capture in this screenshot. To create the required connection using agent identity user, we need to go to Power Apps, Maker portal and sign in as environment administrator user. Okay, now we need to create connections for Microsoft Dataverse. If you see two, I mean, we will talk about it. Then you have to select the green icon. And also you need to create a connection for Microsoft Copilot Studio Preview. Then for activating triggering flow in Power Apps as an environment administrator using Canvas app, and that is production ready preview, setup supplier communication agent. So this step can be done by PowerShell script as well, and use the like you can use the sample PowerShell script provided in the docs article. But something we have, we have used this this Canvas app to activate this triggering flow. Let's see in action. Again, we went to the Power Apps and how we can go to the connections and something, like we are going with the same admin account, which has access to that particular, environment where we are trying to configure the supplier communication agent. So we will go to Maker Power App portal. We will go to the connection, we will click on new connection. And then when we'll click on new connection, what will happen here? Like we are trying to search Dataverse, and what it will do, we can see there are two Microsoft Dataverse. One is, the green one and the gray one. So we need to install this gray one, the green one here. So once we will do, we will be selected as OAuth. And now the agent identity user, which you have created in the previous step, we need to select that one here. And once we'll click on next, we can activate this. We have added this connection for this Microsoft Dataverse in this particular environment. That is the first thing. Now the second part is, the Microsoft Copilot Studio. And here the same step I did, I click on create, and with the same identity user, I'm creating that connection for this, the second one, which we talked about it. So once these connections are done, we can see these two connections. One is basically your, Microsoft Dataverse, the green one, and the Microsoft Copilot Studio, the blue one. Okay, and these two I have made the connection with SA identity user. Now, the next part is that. Okay, we have to go to the Power Apps and we have to click on this particular system. This particular area. Oh, sorry. And we have to search for production ready preview setup supplier communication agent. Once we will click on that, it will open this Canvas app. Now everything you can see in the draft version, and I told you that that is something you can enable via PowerShell as well, but something we can do with the Canvas app as well, which works out of the box. So once we will do this one, we have to select the same SA identity user here again, and that is what I have done here. And I will click on apply here. So once we do that particular step, agent triggers flow status. You can see it has been activated. Everything has been ticked, ticked. And once you will apply, what will happen once you will go to FNO, you can see in the FNO Immersive homepage, we can see two agents. One is speed up updates in purchase order with supplier communication agent. So when a vendor sends an I don't know why it is going so fast automatically. So when a vendor sends an email on purchase order, summarize the changes and suggest updates. The second one is send follow-up emails to vendors with supplier communication agent, which draft or send emails to follow up with vendors on unconfirmed or delayed purchase order. The second last step, I can call it as mailbox configuration. To enable the email analysis and delivery features of the supplier communication agent, you must set up the targeted mailbox so that they are synchronized with the data verse at the server level. And these can be set up as private and like the shared mailbox. So for private mailbox owner must update personalization settings to track all emails. That's something I'm going to talk about it today. But for the shared mailbox, you need to create the teams, the queue, and something. These steps are already mentioned because I have not took the screenshot for these steps. But something I can show the private mailbox. But we are encouraging because like for a bigger organization, it will be a shared mailbox, which will be which will be used by different folks. That okay, like once the purchase order received, somebody has to act on it. So that is why these steps are important to understand. And you need to create a queue in Power Platform Admin Center and provide access to all users that are using the incoming email workspace to read email content belonging to the shared mailbox. Okay. So whenever we are talking about private mailbox, like you have to go to your environment. You need to go to the setting. You need to go to the, like email section. And here you need to click on mailboxes. Once you will click on it, you will see my active mailboxes. What you have to do basically, like you will see this particular line, which basically belongs here. And we need to click on setup an email mailbox. Once you will do this step, you will hit on OK. What it will do, so here it was not run, but it will make the incoming and outgoing as success. So it might take some time. So just like have patience and see that, once this is success, you can see that, like how the inbound and outbound is going to, work here. Also, like the personalization setting, which I was talking about it, you have to, on the same page, you have to click on this setup trigger, like this icon, this gear basically, and you have to click on personalization setting. And once you will do this step, you have to click on this track and you have to select all email messages here. There are other messages, but you need to update this setting. And when you will click on OK, you will be done with this mailbox setup. So what we have talked about in this session is basically private mailbox setup, but something the similar way you have to set up on shared mailbox. So once either private mailbox setup or shared mailbox setup has been done, the last step is called as activate the agent. So because we have seen the first part where we have seen this agent, but these agents at that point the agents were not working, but at this point agents should be working because we have activated the flow, we have associated the agent the identity users with that particular flow, which is going to talk communicate between FNO, between Copilot Studio, and between like that particular environment. So that is how this whole setup works end to end. So what will happen for activating the agent? You have to click on try it out. Once you will do, it will take you to this page, and you have to click on library. You can see that speed up update in purchase order with supplier communication agent, and speed follow up emails to vendor with supplier communication agent. So once you will select these, if you are talking about inbound scenario or outbound scenario, so follow up is for outbound scenario. Update in purchase order is an inbound scenario. So you can see speed up update in purchase order with supplier communication agent will bring this screen where where vendor sends an email about purchase order, and it will come to this particular email ID which I have set up in my case. And here I have to hit on activate. Now for outbound flow, you will see the filter criteria on which you are planning to send mail to the vendor. Those criteria you have to define here, and these details you will once you will define, you have to hit on activate. So the follow-up mail which you have to send, that's something will you need to set up it at this particular point. These are the resources which I have highlighted in the end of this slide. So I hope we have time where we can, where we can, go with the questionnaire, where we can try to understand that exactly. If there is any question, please feel free to ask.
Thanks, Ankur. Yes, there are a couple of questions. Let me go to the chat box and I'll ask one by one.
Yeah,
so
please.
First question we have from Vikas. So he's first thanking you, and what he's trying to confirm, if I correctly understand, supplier communication agent works after PO confirmation. Will this work with purchase out orders and normal orders?
So as of, let's try to understand from the cycle perspective. So we have created the purchase order in FNO. Now, we need to confirm that purchase order. The cycle starts from there. So either the vendor will respond that we need to follow up with them that can you please confirm this purchase order, or they can come back to us and say that we want to update some quantity, we will not be able to deliver. That is the first point. And also they can say that let's confirm the purchase order, or they can say that let's cancel the purchase order. These things can happen. So that is what you can ask for the follow-up that can you please confirm, and then they can respond in different categories. So these activities, we can say that like the slide which we have talked about at the initial stage, where if they confirm that can you please go and confirm this purchase order. So as of today, what will happen, I have to go and check my email, and I will see that this particular vendor is asking me to confirm this particular purchase order. Now that's something we can say that it has been automated via this way, where the agent is going to take care of this part, where it will read that email, where it will capture or extract the information that what purchase order we are talking about, and based on that particular detail, it will try to it will do the needful and bring the screen. So as of today, you don't have to read through their email. You have to go to that agent screen, where you can see that exactly these are the purchase order, which exactly like the activity has been triggered for confirming for the purchase order. So we can just simply go and click on accept what we have received via email, and we can confirm the purchase order there directly. So the agent will do all the manual work which is happening as of today. Reading through the email, and giving you the details that these are the purchase order which you need to you have to go to that particular agent page, and you have to just go and enable it.
Great. Thanks, Ankur. Next question we have from Debashish. He's asking, does it support multilingual abilities communication for overseas suppliers? Basically, I think, does it support more than one language for overseas customers or suppliers? Sorry.
I think it's a good question. I mean, from the language perspective, I mean, yes, my screen says a lot of languages, but I think I might not have the answer here. But as of today, it is like the English is supported. I mean, I need to check. I mean, that's a good question. I will get back on that point. I mean, that about the language. Yeah.
So Ankur,
No stress,
I know
Ajay. Yeah.
Ankur,
Yeah.
officially we support English only for now, but we have tested for Japanese. It worked for Japanese, Italian, Spanish, and German. We have not tested for the other languages, but it does work with other languages. We have to make sure that its accuracy is correct. But officially, it's English language for now.
Yeah. Thanks, Ajay.
Thanks, Ajay, for that insight.
Thanks, Ajay.
Another question.
Sorry. Is that okay? I'm just in a language perspective. Do we need to do any other additional setup to work in other different language other than English, or just a easy setup?
No, there is no
I'm not-
language. So there is no
Okay.
setup for you. It's just a large language model to understand the email and translate into the JSON that we use to consume into the email or D365. So as of now, the models that we have been using, it like I said, it works English. Accuracy level is much higher. We have tested with the other languages. We need to continue to test for the other languages. Again, the languages are improving every day. We have an option to use the GPT-5. We have not tested GPT-5 extensively. Possibly with GPT-5, it can support more languages. But for you, there is no special setup that you need to do.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Next question, Ankur, it's from me, more like out of curiosity. We have vendor collaboration portal inside FNO. How this supplier agent maybe work together or improve that experience? Is there any future plan or any existing functionality feature that can help out?
Yeah. So as of today, both are the different capabilities. I mean, at least from the product perspective, these two are different capabilities. And I mean, as of today, I mean, they both work in a different way. Like the capabilities are different. And not sure that how it will evolve, because the supplier communication agent is still evolving. That's something we can look into in future. I mean, that something is not that information is not available today.
Yeah, I think ideally we should have end-to-end process, and we have been taking this feature feedbacks, right? How do we make sure that our vendor collaboration portal also works with supplier communication agent? For right now, the data so that you see, it's only email that we support. But yeah, these are the feedback that we have been taking it and considering for the future.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ajay. I'm just checking more. There's a question from Aniket. Is my understanding correct that supplier communication agent will only support automation for the purchasing or procurement team, not automation for vendor side task in the vendor collaboration module? I think that's more like you already answered.
Yeah, something like this whole setup has been designed in to understand the email. So from FNO side, or like the person who has created the purchase order, or the procurement team, we can say, to automate the process at the procurement side. But the vendor side, it is like there is no automation has been, like it's an outside process for as of today.
Next question we have from Satya. Can this agent be extended or customized? I'm not sure who will attempt to do this for sure, but in future, partner will be more knowledgeable on agentic architecture.
So first thing, like currently, first-party agents are not extensible, but like extensibility is planned for the future. The framework for building the custom agent, we are working on it. And with the features like, like MCP and, like agent to agent protocol. So these are in pipelines, and the team is working on it. But as of today, like first party agents, like supplier communication and the other agent, which we are going to talk in this series, they are not extensible.
Ankur, if I recall, I was in one of the summit, and I can't recall the speaker name, sorry for that. But they mentioned this not specific to this supplier agent, but there are certain agents which can be customized using Copilot, where we can add more triggers or more what we call them commands to answer. Or I'm mixing things up.
I
No,
think
no,
that's your chatbot in D365. So the chatbot that comes out in D365,
Yes.
that one you can extend, you can add your own knowledge source, you can trigger a command and action from there. But all our first party agent, as of
I see.
now, it's not supported for extensibility.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ajay. Next question we have from Artham Santosh. Let's say the vendor sends an email suggesting the change in delivery date, then the agent would first read the email, present the info on the agent screen. Second, procurement user, if accept the info, would the agent update the confirmation receipt date on the PO and post the confirmation?
So the confirmation, up to the confirmation step, it will be done. And then, when we are talking, so of course, like if we are asking agent to perform the posting, that is not that's something we have to be doing it on manual from our side. The confirmation is what we are requesting from the supplier to tell us, the vendor to tell us.
So vendor tell us like on the email, like I have to change the delivery date from, let's say, from the 1st September to 10th September via email. So agent will read that email, make the change.
So the confirmation,
Yeah.
Hello.
So the agent will read the email, right? And if you go to the agent activity dashboard, you will see the change detected, about change into the delivery date. And then you have an option there. There is a button there to accept the change. Once you accept the change, it goes back and update the PO delivery date, right? And if the vendor say that confirm as well, then it will also suggest there is another change detected called confirm the PO. And there is again button there to accept the change, and it will do the confirmation for the PO. So, and again, we only detect changes on the 5 and 6 columns, which is the quantity change, unit of measure change, price change, confirmation, cancellation, and delivery date change. And once these changes are detected, it will give you an option within the dashboard to accept those changes, be it a cancellation, be it a confirmation, or change in the quantity, date, unit of measure.
Okay. I got another question immediately, Ajay. So currently I understand there are limited fields which is supported to read via email. So are there any plan to add more fields in future?
Yes, there are plans, but the columns or 6 columns that we are coming up is the most frequent changes that we are seeing based on the telemetry data. But yes, there is a been discussion going on, right? In some cases, you will see supplier is saying that, hey, add a replacement item. I cannot ship item A, I will ship item B, which is a replacement of item A. Or maybe think about publishing company. You have a books, which is maybe it's not, I'm got a new edition of that book. So going forward, your POs next month, I'll be sending the latest, which is a different product. Those kind of things we have been considering it. Is it there now? No, we are planning to deliver in next semester or something.
Next question we have from Gareth. Is there any restrictions on email apps where the agent works or doesn't work? Is it Outlook only or open to anything with the secure configuration API?
So yeah, so as of today, Microsoft email and other emails you can configure here.
So as long as we can sync those emails in Dataverse, it should work, but we have not tested other than Outlook or Exchange.
Okay.
I think we missed a question from Sunil, which is around, will it also work with RFQs, as most of their communication is with vendors are based on purchase requisitions?
Not right now. It's only for POs, right, Ankur? Only for
It is
POs.
yes.
Only for confirmed. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Checking that there are a lot of questions coming in. That's
Yeah.
good, actually.
It's good.
We have a question from Satya. Can you please also talk about MCP and tools in this agent? I assume there are APIs written behind the scenes, so agents take a particular action.
Okay, just give me a second. I think I need to go back to the previous slide where, I mean, we have talked about the inbound and outbound architecture, like the technical architecture. So there I have talked about that exactly where the MCP we are using here. Okay, so here you can see this whole like the part where I mean, of course, like we are capturing the emails in the Dataverse, but after that, basically, like all email extract entity, I mean, the LLM prompt, this is happening in the Copilot Studio, where we are going through the attachment email body, and then we are putting the data into the email staging. So the Copilot Studio is playing the role on this at this particular point to perform the activity. So once like we have to move the email staging, we will move it to the FNO, and the same thing we will do for mapping and matching. So that is also like from the email perspective, it will be the details will pass from Dataverse to FNO.
So
And
I think right now, what Ankur said here, right? I think the component that if you see what we are using in the architecture, Dataverse, Power Automate, large language model as an API that we are calling, and FNO as a backend, right? So we don't have an MCP as now playing any role here, right?
Yeah.
Extensibility story, maybe in future we'll consider using a MCP, but right now MCP has no role. It's just a Power Automate and Dataverse API that has been created in X++ and exposed into Dataverse.
Yeah.
I have one more question, Ankur. So I got a project where we are still on LCS for environment deployment, whether cloud hosted, sandboxes, everything. I deployed an environment through LCS, a sandbox, but when I enable dual write, it will also create an environment in my PPAC. Now, in this scenario, can I still leverage Copilot or any of the agent capabilities?
Yes, it should.
Yes,
But
you
the
can.
only condition, the only condition is that it should be 10.44 or latest, and we don't have to, enable the dual write. But only the thing is that Dataverse connection will be there. I mean, between these two environments, and that is what you are creating in LCS itself. So yes, you can do that. And that is what I think from LCS, I mean, you have to have your sandbox environment, which should be associated with Power Platform. I mean, PPAC. There you should be able to see that environment, and that is how this whole setup works actually.
But for CHA environments, it's not. We cannot use it.
Yeah, at least I'm talking about sandbox environment for cloud hosted. I mean, I haven't tried. Ajay, do you have any answer on that?
No, we don't. We don't support any sort of Copilot functionality on CHE. So either we will have to use tier 2 sandbox or UD if you are going to work on extensibility. You can build classes on and the dev box CHE, but you can only test it once you bring it to tier 2 or UD. So creating classes can be done on CHE if you have to.
Santosh, that was answer to your question. I have another question.
Sorry for quick question. So how UD is practical? See, F&O production database size is so big, right? Now, if you have to maintain a same size UD, it's so expensive on the customer side.
Agree. But why do you need entire database in UDE? So you can do a transactionless copy in UDE and have just masters, right, for your testing purpose. Actual testing will happen tier 2 and onwards.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Okay.
there is several ways to reduce the size. Yes, in some cases you need the full data, but for the development purpose, for just validating, making sure that
Yeah.
what I developed is working, we can use the transactionless copy and have just master, or you just import few orders, right? We have to do it manually. I know there is a no automated way to do this, but that's how we will have to optimize the cost for the customer, those who are in the terabytes of database.
Yeah. And
Also,
sorry.
Santosh, UDE is built based on the capacity model. So if your customer has more licenses, you get more space in Dataverse, and then technically your UDE can be free if you are within your storage limits. So UDE has a very different way of looking at the cost. So there are many factors. Yeah. But yeah, transactionless copy and then
I
cleanup
mean,
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that is
We
why we are
also,
building these features.
yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Ankur. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's why we are building these features. I mean, either a transactionless copy or I mean, those like where just only you need code also. So these things are like can be done very quickly when we are moving the data from LCS sandbox to or LCS prod to these UD environments.
Yeah, and also, right, there's a limitation if you just think about, right, making these Dataverse API calls, connecting to my outbox, mailbox, CHE has a lot of limitations, right, that I can't make those API calls outside to the dev box, or I have to make sure. So there is no investment on CHE in terms of making our Copilot functionality works. It's going to only work with UD or tier 2.
So is that statement also true, Ankur and Ajay, in case I enable dual write on CHE while deployment?
Yeah, it doesn't, like if you enable UDE, you can connect CHE with the Dataverse, or you can enable dual write. That functionality works, but the Copilot functionality does not work.
No, but you said that you on CHE you want to enable the dual write.
I think that works,
I
right?
mean,
I'm not tested yet, I think, but that works. I
I have
believe
not
you
that
can
works
enable.
at the time of deployment only. You
Yeah,
cannot enable after environment is deployed, but when we do the deployment of CHE, there is an option to enable Power Platform.
yeah.
You can enable Power Platform, but the I have seen a lot of problem while setting up the dual write.
Of
So
course,
I'm
yes,
not sure whether it
it's
will
not
work.
flawless.
That's why sandbox is the environment which we always say that okay, configure it from there.
Good. Thank you, Ankur. I'm just checking for any more questions.
sorry, Santosh, is your question answered? You want to add some comment?
No, my point is, let's say we have an environment of 1 terabyte production environment, right? Now, transition-less, spinning up a transaction-less UDE environment, maybe you can get it up to 200 gig, right? But still 200 gig for a UDE environment is expensive if you look at the database per gig cost from Microsoft.
Yeah.
I think
So
let's. I
It's
again,
cheaper than
that's
FNO capacity.
think
that's a different conversation that we can have,
Yeah.
right? But technically, right, if I get a transactionless copy, which is only masters, it's not going to be 200 GB, right? Yes, if you go choose some transaction to be in your UDE, yes, it's going to be around 200 GB, and then there's a cost comparison, feature parity, right, of CHE versus UDE. But a different conversation, maybe like
Yeah.
some time, we can plan about when we phase towards deprecating CHE and only go to have a UDE, then we can compare where is the cost, if there is more cost, what kind of benefit that I'm going to get.
Yeah. But I would encourage you, Santosh, to join the Yammer Insider program, leave your comments to the product team, because definitely it's very important to hear the partners, customers, and the pain points. And Microsoft is listening to all these conversations and will build their roadmap accordingly. But good call out. Thanks, Santosh. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, we have
Uh,
only 5 minutes left. So yeah, Deepak, how you want to
yeah,
take it forward?
I think that's more like it. I think Satya, you would like to unmute yourself and ask the question which you put in the chat.
I think Manikanda had one as
Can
well,
you
didn't he?
sorry, Garrett?
So Manikanda had a question which he's asked twice, I think, which was about the pricing and billing point of view for the agent.
Okay.
What is the question?
I'm just trying to
Could you
put
please
it.
talk about this agent from a pricing and billing point of view? So effectively, tokens, cost.
Okay.
How does it drive cost for customers?
Okay, I think for that we have already talked about things in the tech talk, which was we have talked about things, but I can on a high level I can talk about it. So as of today, like whenever we are talking about the billing, it is basically based on like Microsoft Copilot Studio messages. And when you so there are two the Copilot Studio offers two type of options. One is basically the message pack, where I think the pack is around like 25,000 messages. It costs 200 per month. The second one is pay as you go, which basically each message cost $0.01, something like that. So this is how it works. And on a high level, basically, when we are talking about each agent action, I think it is equivalent to your 5 Copilot Studio messages. Now, how it drives? I mean, we can. I think in that tech talk which we have talked about it. So when we are saying that one action equal to 5 message, so when we are going to follow up, I think it takes 5 message, and if we have to multiply 5 into 0.01, it give us $0.05. Drafting an email for a delayed or unconfirmed purchase order. Then also we need to think about reading the mail, and whenever we are reading the mail, basically it will have the email body, and I think there are 4 actions performed there. So if we say 4 action, that's mean total 20 messages, it becomes 0.20. And also we need to think about, I think, the attachment. So I think when we calculated this whole value, it was like $0.35, like the total message, when we basically the full flow part, which we talked about it, where you will write one follow-up email, you will read one incoming email, and then process one attachment also. So that gives us $0.35, something like that. So I mean, that is how it works. And also you can ask about that, okay, like I'm doing it on sandbox, or also I'm doing it on production environment. So there is like we are not on a tier level, we are not we have not incorporated these things. The consumption is always visible from the Copilot Studio messaging level only. I hope, I tried to recall all these points. So
yeah, you're pretty accurate from what I remember. I think the other bit that came up for me was the point I made in the text, which is the language translation bit, which then means you use more tokens, right? And the message numbers go up because it has to translate from English or whatever language it goes to into the other language that's selected. So your token cost is more, and your context window reduces because it's making multiple copies of the message as it processes.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, that's something we need to see still, like, because I have not seen it from my side. I mean, from the multi-language itself. But yes, like I think like for a normal English language, it's like when the to and fro process which we have evaluated, it is basically $0.35. It calls it out. So that is what I think we have represented in the TED Talk series.
Yeah, and as of now, we are not considering the translation, the size of PDF attachments. But for now, like as Ankur said, right, one message, one email end to end. So example, I have a outbound email to supplier about the confirmation date. Now supplier is sending a message back to me with the confirmed date plus an attachment of PDF, which has more detail about my PO. Altogether, 35 cents for one. If I have to say one PO with attachment, end-to-end communication.
And only one instance or multiple instance of this cycle?
No,
One
that-
to and
or
One
round trip.
instance.
Round trip. You send an email for confirmation, and supplier responds to you with the confirmation with the quantity update, maybe either in the mail body or in the PDF attachment. If they send a mail body, then it's going to be a 25 cents total. If they send with an attachment, then it's 10 cents added extra because you need to download the PDF, translate it, convert it to JSON. So it's more of the action triggered in Copilot Studio, and each action is $5, 5 cents. Sorry, each action, each autonomous action, 5 messages that Ankur just mentioned, right? So the more
0.01 there, yeah.
Brilliant. I believe we just reached to the time now.
Yep, we are on time. Thanks for stretching
Thanks,
a bit,
Ankur.
but yeah.
Ajay, it
Thank
was
you.
really a nice session.
Yeah, sure.
Hi. Thank you
So-
so much.
Thanks,
for
Ankur,
everyone.
for the
Thanks,
session.
all.
If anyone wants to unmute and give any feedback, please feel free to do it. We are a bit over time, but we have more sessions coming up next week. So we will keep sending you emails if you have registered for the sessions, for the future sessions as well.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
Nandini.
you.
Thank you,
Ankur.
team.
Thank
For
you.
very
Thank you.
good session.
In
Yeah,
the-
really looking forward for more sessions.
For sure,
Great
an
session.
informative session. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.